in honor of Mother's Day, which is when this will come out, I believe, we'll do this cute little flower puzzle. Alright, I picked this up when I was out and about last week or so, and I saw it. I've seen these before, and I just never picked one up, and finally I decided, you know what? It's got daisies, it's got little bees on it. It's meant to be, right? So let's give this a try. And I think this big container is supposed to look like a big seed packet, so very, very, very cute. And there's not much to it. It's all flat packed, so we'll just take this out and open her up. First thing is you got these little double stick tape, I believe. I never did end up using those. Some sandpaper, and it's got the instructions, of course, and all the little parts and pieces. One thing I did notice, every piece is labeled. Yay! So this shouldn't be too bad. Alright, we're just gonna start at step 1, which is making little stems and leaves. And you get this nice big sheet, and you notice all the labels, very nice. And you basically just punch out the piece you need and then put them together. It's pretty easy, I would say. This would be a good first project. The other nice part is they label where each piece goes. So number 1 goes with number 1. I mean, you can't really mess this up. So we're just going to go through and go ahead and put our coordinating numbers. So the next one will be number 2 that goes there, and so on and so forth. As you go along, you're going to put little flowers here and there. So there's some that have just the centers and some that have the whole daisy. So this one has the yellow piece, and then there's a little green piece that sits right in the back there, just like that. And as you go along, you're going to get to recognize the parts. I'm kind of staring at it like, where does this go? Because when you first start, you're figuring this out. But the flowers basically go on the spots that aren't numbered. So this one, the one that looks like a little U, we'll use that type of flower. The one that has a little peg at the end will be the bigger flower. Let's keep on building. Match the numbers. All right, now we're going to come to a stem that has a little peg piece, and that's going to be the full daisy. So there's 3 parts to it. So there's the bottom green that goes on first, and it only goes one way, the long ways there. then the white piece, the petals, and then the yellow goes on top. You just keep on going. You put the stems together. They do fit together just right. And then the ones that have the little U's at the end will have just the buds of the flowers, and the one that has the pegs has the full flowers. You get in a rhythm after a while. I did notice once I finished this project, it does give you extra tiny pieces. So in case you break those because you're too strong for it, don't worry about it. Because they do give you a couple extras, but not on the white and the yellow pieces. So be careful. And then once you get towards the end here and you got all your flower stems full, you're going to notice some extra pieces, and that's where all your little leaves go. And they're a longer slot, so it's different from the flower buds. You'll be able to tell. And there we go. We got all the flowers. And you'll notice I didn't put the bees on there. I just didn't feel like they looked right. And I like the flower itself. I can put my own bees on there if I want to, right? So now that we got the flowers done, now we got to make the pot that it goes into. This little flower pot is quite substantial. It's an interesting one. But what you're going to do is build the inside of it, the structure that it's going to go around. So you're going to notice that there's little arrows and things. So you're just going to put things in with the arrow pointing the right direction. So for instance, there's the arrow up, you put the little hook in there, and then you're going to push it up to lock it in place. These do fit nice and tight. And here's another part where the arrows come into play. So there's an arrow at the bottom, and then there's an arrow on this piece. You just got to make sure that these pieces, the arrows, line up. And then you're in business. Now we'll just put the ribs all the way around the side. Now at first I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't fit. But it will when I squish that down a little more. You see how I had it up too high? So I squished it down and now it fits much, much better. There we go. Like I said, this is going to be a solid little base. I guess they're making it on purpose so that it's heavy and it doesn't tip over. It does make sense after a while. Alright, again we're going to line up the little arrows, make sure they're all facing the same direction, and then just put the very top piece on. And now we're going to put some more little rib pieces in here. Looks like a little spaceship. And there we go. It's nice and hefty. It's very, it feels good in the hands. It's got a good weight to it. Alright, now we're going to cover it with this piece of cardboard here. I will, in all honesty, didn't like how this turned out. It fits very, 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 very tight, and I could see it getting ripped very easily. But I gave it a shot. This cover took way too long to try to get it to fit on there. It was so fiddly, and then by the end it was so tight that I couldn't put the little tab in the slot. It's not my favorite. Phew, we got it that far. You get to a point where it's like, that's good enough. Now we gotta fold the top part inward. The nice part on this is it's all pre-creased, so it's very nice. So it just fits into the slots, and you're gonna notice that it is numbered, and it does fit to the coordinating slots. There we go. Alright, we got the base done, and it seems to be pretty secure. So what we're going to do is, you see all the numbers on the inside? There's pieces that all fit in those holes. The first piece is this little leaf, and we're just going to put that one in the coordinating slot. 1 to 1. And just make sure it angles out. It does go a certain way. And then they have a couple of these little stems with just itty bitty little white flowers on them. So you just stick those on there and then put them in the coordinating holes. Got a cute little sign. It fits in there. And your flowers fit, well, it should, if you did everything right, should fit right in the middle there. Ta-da! Very cute. Now that's version number 1, and to be honest, that wasn't my favorite option, but option number 2 is to put it on a long stem. So they give you these little pieces and you can make it as long and short as you want. It's kind of like Tinker Toys putting them together, you know. So I made it the full length just to show you what it looks like with every single piece. And they just fit together, and then there's an end piece that doesn't have a little notch at the bottom. So that's the end. So no matter how long you do it, just put the one that doesn't have a notch at the end at the bottom. And there you go. And then you just put it at the end of your flower bundle. And that way you just have a little bouquet that you can put into your own vase. I like that they give you those options. Very nice. And there you go. It's all done from when I got it to how they want you to do it. But I think I can't leave it alone. Let's zhuzh it up. So I'm going to take this piece and I'm going to leave it as the stem form. I'm not going to use the vase. I'm going to get my own. I found some buttons that I have that have the yellow rhinestoney in the middle. And then I'm just going to take the button part off. And I'm going to use those as centers instead. We're going to bling this, right? I did pull those off, and I did do a short of how I fixed, when I pulled those off, some of the centers came off, so that and it's not as shiny. So if you haven't seen that, I did put a short up of how I fixed that. So let's take this apart, but we're going to do this strategically. I'm just going to keep it in its little designated clumps, and since it's got the numbers, we know where they go back to, right? So let's just take this apart. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take all the yellow and white pieces off. I'm going to leave all the greens together. And then I decided that I'm going to sand every single piece and make it a little more rounder, so it's a little less laser cut look. So it looks less like a little Lego flower and more closer, not exactly, but closer to a realistic flower. So I sanded every single piece. This took a while. I just camped in front of the TV and just sanded away. Made them a little bit rounder, just like that. And I did the same thing to all the green pieces. So I just rounded the edges, made it much more softer looking. I was originally thinking I was going to make it completely rounded. That was a lot of sanding. So half laziness, half artistic choice. And we'll just put it together. Again, they got numbers on there. So it was really easy to put together. And I'm just doing just the green parts right now. Got it together. I found some green that's really close to that color, and I'm going to paint every single piece this color. There we go. We got a nice base coat covering it all. It already looks better. All that brown doesn't show anymore. But I decided I got to get another step fancy, and what I ended up doing is I painted each of the leaves. You can see I gave it a little more of a defined leaf look. Just on the leaves. I left the stems alone. And to protect it, and this paint is a little matte, I just did a nice clear satin spray over the top just to give it protection and a little bit of a shine. There we go. Alright, so we got all these white daisies. I sanded every single piece, as you can see. And what I did is I took white spray paint and I just painted all the white pieces. There we go. So it's a little more of a consistent white. And these are easy to tell where they go back to. It's the ones with the round discs on there. So we'll put those on there. And then I decided it needed a little bit more defining, so I found this nice little peach color, and I'm going to just kind of highlight the middles. There we go. Most of the center is going to be covered by the yellow, but I just wanted a little bit more highlight to it. Just a barely there kind of blush look. All right. And I put the yellow on there. I spray painted those yellow as well. And I just put them back on. And now I think I'm going to take all my little yellow rhinestones and cover all the yellow wood pieces. That made sense, right? And I'm just going to use my regular white glue here. Now, one thing, if you work with rhinestones at all, you'll know that if you use super glue on rhinestones, it will tarnish it, or it'll muddle it. It won't be as shiny. So it does have a chemical reaction. So do test your glues before attaching any kind of rhinestone, because it kind of makes the plastic either wear off the little silver part, or it'll make the plastic very dull and it won't be shiny like this. There we go. Very cute. So much better, huh? We can never leave things alone. Alright, so here's the before. Very cute on its own. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this one by all means. You could definitely just leave it like that. Gives it kind of the minimalist, but after. We got some shine and shimmer. And I found a little vase for it, and much, much, much better, in my opinion. Of course, you could do it however you want. Anyway, I want to say happy Mother's Day to all those moms of all sorts, shapes, and sizes and species. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I hope you enjoyed this video. So I'll see you in the next one. Bye!